folks, John here with Gorillapod's Focus. Today is September 5th, 2014, and this week on the show, Tony Northrup definitively answers the Canon vs. Nikon debate, or does he? DPS teaches us everything we need to know about Lightroom and color space, and we learn how to make any Gorillapod magnetic. Finally, I discuss the dangers of creative expression, or developing that unique artistic trend that you think everyone wants. Let's bring it into focus. Tony Northrup takes the never-ending Canon vs. Nikon battle head-on with a detailed analysis of camera bodies, lenses, flashes, and ultimately provides suggestions based on the type of photographer you intend to be. I am, at least for the foreseeable future, a Nikon guy. What about you? Confused about color space, sRGB, Adobe RGB, 1998, ProPhoto RGB, and so forth? Well, they're all covered in a great article by Andrew S. Gibson from Digital Photography School. This will be especially useful for those who plan to print their work. Gorillapods are fun little tripods that allow you to stabilize your camera just about anywhere. But have you ever wanted to stick it to something metal? Well, this step-by-step guide shows you exactly how to insert magnets into the feet of any Gorillapod. However, it's probably best left for smaller cameras such as point-and-shoots or smartphones, as this sort of thing probably won't support a big DSLR zoom lens combination. If you found something interesting that you think should be featured on future Gorillapod Focus episodes, please tweet me a link at Gorillapod. And now for the discussion topic this week. When does creativity become dangerous? Creativity is a huge aspect of photography, and in this ever-growing competitive world, it pays to be creative. In fact, I urge everyone to push the boundaries of creativity every once in a while. After all, that's how new styles develop and new trends are set. Creativity happens both in the field and behind the computer. Today I'm going to focus mainly on the latter, and particularly pose the question, when does software become more of a crutch than a creative tool? Using software like Lightroom, Photoshop, or any number of other specialized programs on the market, photographers have powerful tools available to them, allowing for a vast assortment of creative final products. However, these tools can, and often do, lead us in the wrong direction. Today I've come up with a list of 3 broad concepts that might suggest you're heading down a dangerous road with your creativity. Please feel free to share any more ideas that you might have in the comments below. First up is when creativity is used to cover up poorly composed or uninteresting photographs. I've done this, you've probably done this. Sometimes it actually works out quite well, and you get a fairly strong result. But when you use this technique too often, you start to create lackluster photographs in the field because you know that you can make it better in post-production. So I'm just going to leave this with a simple question. Imagine if you can make an uninteresting photograph interesting in post-production, what you could do to a photograph that was actually interesting to begin with. Next up is that you may become blinded to constructive feedback by using the "I'm creative" defense. I've seen this happen all too often on constructive criticism forums and Facebook and whatnot. But a photographer will ask for critique, and then they'll stand behind this curtain of, "Oh, I was being creative, so that's okay" defense, when they're actually getting constructive feedback telling them that they went maybe a little too far or that it's a little too creative. So if you're going to push boundaries, make sure that you're aware of the feedback that you're getting and adjust accordingly. Finally, this kind of relates to number 2, but being too creative can leave you alone in the gets it crowd. What I mean by this is that your concept or idea might have just completely missed the mark, and that it's out of touch with what your audience really wants. So don't push too hard, too fast, just for the sake of being creative. Know your audience, and slowly iterate your creative process to develop your own unique creative style. What other creative dangers can you think of? Comment below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, and you'd like to see more, click right here to subscribe.